I mean, Buffalo it's a small town, you know, like I think I graduated with like 90 kids, 4,500 in the whole town. So small town, small country town right on the base of the Bighorn Mountains. So, you know, we grew up going up the mountains hunting. The rodeos were kind of the big event we did, you know, during the summertime. So yeah, and I knew about everybody in the hometown, and I still basically know everybody who lives there. So
a big cowboy town, big ranch.
Big cowboy town, yeah. Like I said, rodeo was. I mean, that was the event of the summer. The JCF&R, Johnson County Fair and Rodeo, was like, we had the parade that weekend, and that was like the big event for the summer. I mean, it's all been a kind of a blur. It's been crazy. It's been a lot of fun. It's gone by fast. I don't know, definitely like I got to perform, like you said, you know, for the Frontier Days with my good buddy Ian Munzik. One of the reasons why I moved here to Nashville. That was definitely like, even though I only went out there for like one song, it was just cool. Like, you know, supporting him and like seeing his success, re-getting that inspiration from him, getting to that final. Because the Frontier Days for a person who grew up in Wyoming is like the big show for us. It's, you know, it's the daddy of them all. So like going and being a part of that was awesome. It's hard to say, like, to put a time limit on it, because like some of the songs I feel like were ones maybe I even started 3 years ago and then came back to. But after we decided to like actually make it, you know, and it was some of the songs had already been basically done. So putting it together doesn't take too long after you have it, you know, the songs picked out and what do you want to do with it. So not too long, probably a couple months. I mean, yeah, of course. I feel like a lot of artists that really love to do it, you make a million songs and you only pick out 10 of them, you know. So like the guy who's been recording me forever, Kadia, Case Closed, he's also my producer, and my buddy who goes on the road with me, DJs for me. He's probably got a million songs of ours that we just recorded throughout the years that, you know, sometimes we'll record one and won't listen to it for a couple years and then bring it back up and be like, oh, we should remake this and like, you know, maybe clean it up a little bit. But, you know, we got away from it because we maybe listened to it too long or whatever, and it started sounding like not what we wanted. But then you hear it a couple years later and like, oh, I like this again. So New Boot Goofin' kind of got inspired by like my uncle. He was kind of just, you know, goofing around one day and came out. We were all like in the shop, and he came out and he was in some slippers, and he comes out and he's just like, new boot goofing, and like we were just like laughing at him or whatever. But I was just like, it kind of like clicked. Like it might have been like a year later when I actually wrote it to that, but it was just like we always started saying new boot goofing all the time. And I know like they say it on Reno 911, you know, so it might have been inspired from that too. But for me, it like came from my uncle just that day, you know, coming out in some slippers and like was literally goofing in them. So yeah, it's crazy. I feel like with the internet now, it's insane. And like TikTok, you can just put out a song, and all of a sudden the next day, people are using it on everything, like you said. I mean, I've seen dogs in shoes and the song's playing. I've seen people just dancing to it, people rodeoing, people on boats, like anything you can think of with the song in the background. And just to see that, it's crazy because a lot of it, the actual vibe of the song is goofing. Like that's the point of the song. It's like it's not too serious. It's just to have fun, and like to see people doing that in the videos and then sharing them with me. It's cool. We're working on an album right now, and we're going to start releasing songs actually this month. We're going to start with a song called Spurs that's going to come out on the 26th, and then we're just going to build up from there. And then I think at the beginning of the year, 2023, we're going to try to drop the album. So we're super excited about that.
Well, what's Spurs going to sound like? Is that going to be...
Spurs is still kind of it's still, you know, it's a vibey, it's fun, it's still a fun song. It's a little different than, you know, anything I've ever made, just like of how I'm flowing on it. I'm trying to, every song I do, I try to just do something a little different than what I've done before. So I feel like people will hear that when they hear the song. But yeah, like when it comes to, you just gotta, when it comes to anything, making any music, it's the easiest way to do it is to tell whatever you've done or what you've lived, where you live, what your current situation is, like, and that's just kind of any Wyoming artist, like it's a Western culture that we grew up in, and the history of Wyoming is all Western. Like I remember, like even with my dad was actually from Washington. He moved to Wyoming when he married my mom. But my dad like fell in love with Western, like the whole style. Like if you go over to my house right now, I guarantee my dad is watching some Western film right now. Like he's gonna be watching Gunsmoke, one of the episodes of Gunsmoke right now, guaranteed on the couch. Like so, it's kind of cool to see how he fell in love with it. And I think if you go to Wyoming or any Western place, like, and you start to learn the history a little bit, it's just cool to see and to get to know it. And growing up there and just living it, I fell in love with it. Oh man, I would love to be a bull rider. I'd love to sit here and say that would be my next, would have been my other career if I could. But man, bull riding's insane. Like I did a show with a buddy of mine, Bonner Bolton, and I did a show after their pro bull riding, and I'd never been to like a pro one. You know, I've been to a bunch of bull ridings, but it's different when you go and watch these pros and they're rock stars. They put on a full show and get next to these bulls and everything. It looks, on TV, you're like, all right, dude, I could hop on a bull. I could ride it. This is nothing. Then you get next to them and you see these guys go and you see someone take a spill and, you know, it's easier to say you would do it than actually get on one and do it. So, I mean, I would love to, yeah, I'd be a bull rider for sure. 3 albums, easy. Jagged Little Pill, Alanis Morissette. Crime of the Century, and The Carter 3. It's just, I mean, when it comes to music for me, like, I wanted to be an entertainer my whole life, and music, like, just happened to be that lane that I took. So, like, I love entertaining people. I love seeing people enjoy, like, when I'm on stage that's my favorite thing about music is going on stage. I love creating music. The whole process is fun. It can be a pain sometimes, but, like, going and performing the songs is, like, my favorite thing, and seeing people just away from whatever it is they have in their lives and just enjoying that moment. So that's why I got into music. It's just to entertain and, like, seeing people enjoy the song and just enjoy their time for that little bit of time that you're on stage. All right, Charles. I can't do it in 3. I could do it in 2. Jiggy Buckaroo.
Beautiful.